Wow. Hi.
This is so exciting. Thank you guys
everyone.
for coming to
Wow.
this. Wow.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
Of course.
So
Thanks for
great.
having us.
Guys, you just missed a fun dance party in the back over there.
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
we were
living
practicing
back there.
choreo.
They were putting out the moves that you just saw in that video, which is really great. Was it hard to learn those moves? You seem like it comes very naturally to you.
Not
Well, they're
too
pretty
hard.
simple.
Yeah, we like to keep it simple because we're not dancers.
True.
We're singers.
True.
Did you have a say in some of the choreography, or did someone just plan that all for you?
Oh no, our friends Lindsay and Craig.
Okay.
They brought it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you perform really well. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
Thanks.
So the last time I talked to you, of course, it was with Pentatonics, which everyone here, I know you all love Pentatonics. That's why we're all here.
I love pentatonics too.
But now we're here to talk about Superfruit, which is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know a lot of the fans know about Superfruit, but just sum up, what Superfruit is, because it started from comedy, and then now we're performing, music too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, a few years ago we started living together, and we decided to start like a vlog channel just to show our personalities, and it was just for fun. It was like a joke, kind of, and yeah, we just kept growing subscribers, and then we started doing little musical things, and it turned into this, which is so crazy.
It's insane. So, so from those comedy videos, you were doing those, but did you put a lot of prep into that? Was it just, or did it come like naturally to you?
We did. We did sort of, we did and we didn't. Like sometimes
Some
it would
of
just be
them.
spontaneous and it would be funny because we were like, we don't know what we're doing. But sometimes it would be very planned. But toward the end, we were kind of like, okay,
But it
maybe
really,
we should do like something different.
we're mainly just showcasing our friendship because we act
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
that all the time. We're always like kind of on one, and yeah.
Yeah. And then so what's it like to be in your house, in your household, when you're not doing these?
Oh my
videos?
God.
What's it like?
What's it really like?
Drinking.
Lots of drinking, lots of dancing, lots of running around in underwear,
That's a thing.
lots of loud music,
Lots of Rihanna.
lots of Rihanna.
Okay.
Lots of Beyonce power hours.
Yes. It's a party.
It's a
It is
party.
fun.
Do you
Lots of
invite a
laughter.
lot of people over? Do you have a lot of guests?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
all the time.
All right. So congratulations on this EP. There's,
Thank you.
7 songs on it now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
7 songs. We heard the original song right before you guys came on. What did it take to pull this together?
Well, we started writing Superfruit music seriously last year. Before 2016 was like a big year for Pentatonics touring wise, so we kind of had to put it away for a little bit. But so we had a couple songs from there, and then we just started doing songwriting sessions like mad and working with different writers and producers, and it turned out really great.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. It was
Yeah.
definitely a journey finding what our sound was going to be and what we wanted to do.
But it came together pretty quickly.
It did come together quickly. It was just so much fun, and it was like creatively refreshing to do something new and do something different.
So what were those songwriting sessions like? Take me inside one.
Ooh. It's okay. So
It's a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. It can go many, many ways, but usually we have a songwriter, a producer that kind of just sits down and works and creates a track while we're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is inspiring me to think of X, and then we kind of riff off of that and throw out ideas, most of which are
Yeah.
kind of bad, but you
Yeah,
sit through
that's
the
how
bad
I was.
ones. Yeah, it's hard though. It's a challenge because you have to be incredibly vulnerable and you have to be willing to be open and accept rejection. You know what I mean?
And we worked with a lot of different writers, so it was like each day we were meeting someone new and then having to be vulnerable and write a song with them. And it honestly is like a blind date. That's what I always say because it can go many different ways.
Right. And so do you feel like you're pulling from your own experiences, your own emotions when you're doing this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Literally, the songwriter or the top line writer with us will be like, "What have you been thinking about lately?" And I'll be like, "I'm going through this breakup and blah blah blah."
And I'm like, I feel good.
Well, good things come from that, right? Do you
Totally,
find,
yeah.
especially when you're going through something emotional, that's absolutely
Yeah.
right. So this is part 1 of a part 2 EP release. So what can we expect on the next one that's going to come out this fall?
There'll be lots of bops.
Lots of bops. It's looking like it's going to be sonically, I think, more adventurous, and it's looking like maybe a couple more slow songs because we're in that mode right now.
All right.
Yeah, we're running like more pretty ballady stuff.
Yeah. This is a little taste for you.
Well, I love this because I think I read an interview that you did that you called this a little bit more raunchy than Pentatonics.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not overtly dirty or anything, but
Yeah.
it's definitely unabashed, I would say.
How would you describe?
How would I
Superfruit?
describe it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I read an interview that you said where it was more sexual, more liberated.
Do you think I was lying?
No, I was saying that is. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to take credit. So yeah,
That's really nice of you.
such a good friend. It's
You are,
wild.
you are.
But like, yeah, I would say I don't know. It's a little more expressive of who we are and what our friendship is.
Yes.
So what is your friendship? I mean, it seems like you guys are all good friends, but do you stay in touch with the rest of the guys and the gals? Like what? The gal.
Yeah.
The gal.
Of course we do. We're still doing pentatonic stuff.
Yeah, the gal.
And so we're still on email chains talking to them
Yeah.
every day about pentatonic stuff. But then what our friendship is, I mean, it's a long one. We've been friends for 15 years.
Yeah.
And really close friends, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean,
Yeah.
we've been through it.
We've been through it, and we just get closer. And I feel like everything that happens to a strong friendship has happened to us pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's just
everything.
made us closer because we were like, no, we fought for it. But it's good. It's almost like being married, honestly.
Literally. And it's honestly what Future Friends is about, because we've been through every single thing a friendship can go through. We've even had like a falling out. We've dated. We've been through it. And like we're still so close. So it's proof that any relationship can be healed over time.
I love that.
And that's what Future Friends is about. Like if it all ends, one day we'll be future friends.
Oh, I love that. That's such a great takeaway. That absolutely is. So what was the reaction when you told the rest of Pentatonics, we're doing obviously this, this video series, now we're going to put out this EP?
What was the reaction? I feel like everyone's been really supportive.
Yeah.
Everyone in Pentatonics is super supportive of each other, and everyone's doing solo stuff. And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Do you,
And even if they weren't, I mean, we would still do it.
True. That is true.
like, screw you, we're going to do this anyway. But do you run any of the ideas by them? Like, oh, all right, guys, this is what we're putting out, or we're thinking about this, or this is really a duo, solo kind of thing?
You know, we don't. I feel like everyone's solo projects, we're very respectful that it's like, it's your thing, and whatever you creatively want, you can have. Because Pentatonics, we've had to all get on the same page. And we're all down to do that. We're respectful of each other, but like, our solo projects are time to be like, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Was there any apprehension, or were you nervous at all before putting this out to fans, worrying about like what they think or what the reaction might be?
Yeah.
I mean, it's risky. It's totally different than Pentatonics. And we were nervous.
Yeah, we were trying to take a lot of risks and do stuff that we loved, but I mean, you always have that anxiety that you think, like, is everyone going to think this is a joke? Like, I get really nervous, and people's reaction when Imaginary Parties came out made me so happy and made me feel so relieved.
Can you talk a little bit more about those differences, what it's like to create music with Superfruit versus Pentatonics, and kind of what you set out to really do here?
It's really tough to put into words, but I think when there's a very big difference in feeling that I get personally when I'm in a songwriting session for Pentatonics versus Superfruit, because, I mean, one is a cappella, obviously, so we're kind of sort of in a box for that, but it's just an overall different sound. It's really tough to describe.
It's a different sound. It's a different feeling. I'm like such a choir nerd, so Pentatonics satisfies so many things for me when I create music. But it's all about the harmonies and the moments and the drama, and that's what I love about Pentatonics. But Superfruit, it's different. It's like a vibe. It's an expressive emotion of like what our friendship is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's two different things.
Do you think you'll be performing live or performing shows just as Superfruit?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
course.
Yeah, we
That
like
would be
this.
great.
Yeah. Fans are into that. So maybe when do you think you might do that? When the next album comes out, or before that?
Probably, so we have enough songs to
Yeah.
put that on.
The 7 just won't cut it.
Yeah, we can do a
Very
bunch of
short.
Destiny's Child covers too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You've done coverage, you've done original content. I mean, is there something that you haven't done yet that you're like, okay, we haven't covered this artist? You know, I saw your Beyonce medley. You've done, Lady Gaga. Is there something that you haven't done that you're like, oh man?
Is there something we haven't done? Nothing that like initially comes to mind. Original music was what we were like really wanting to do, and that's happening right now. So
I think just kind of I talked about this earlier, I think just making Superfruit more of a sort of audio-visual thing, and focusing heavily on the performance as well as the music. So one doesn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? One's not stronger than the other, I guess.
yeah, and it's been such an adventure having production too, because it's a whole new world. Any sound, any synth, it can happen. Because a cappella, obviously, we only have 5 voices, which was amazing in a way. But like, it's so nice now to be like, what is our sound? And what direction can we go?
Exactly, yeah.
What about the name Superfruit? What was the origin?
Oh man.
Well, it doesn't really, okay.
It was your idea.
It was my idea, and I just sort of liked the word. I don't really know where it came from, but it sounded gay to me, which I love. And originally it was going to be our anonymous rap duo.
We had a serious plan to like release like this intense rap music under the alias Superfruit, but not tell anyone it was us.
Oh.
Yeah, like a Sia thing where you didn't see our faces. But then we didn't do it.
No.
That would you still can though.
We
Maybe
still
down the
can.
line. Maybe
Yeah.
not a Superfruit, something else. But now the secret's out.
Think about it.
Well, think about it.
Well, you said super gay, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the LGBTQ community and how, so we have some people in the house, fans in the house. What can you talk a little bit about the impact and what people have said to you guys? You know, this means so much to me that you're out and you're there and you're speaking about issues that matter to me.
I mean, so much.
It is so incredibly rewarding, especially at meet and greets. When someone comes by and they're like, just seeing y'all live your dream and just live your life every day unabashedly, and then like having this success and having won Grammys, it just proves that I could do something like that. And that is the most rewarding part of every single thing I've ever done, because it feels like we're doing something impactful and we have a purpose, and that makes us very happy.
Absolutely.
It's really nice. You mentioned Grammys. Congratulations, you won a Grammy this year.
Thank you.
Yes.
With Dolly Parton, right?
Yeah.
The queen of everything.
Oh my goodness! What did that? Because I talked to you before that happened. So So what was that like? Just
The whole process was the best experience ever. She is an angel, and she was so nice. When we worked with her, she was there 30 minutes early, full glam, just like not a diva at all. Like, and then we changed her song up kind of a lot to work for us. And she was like, let me take notes. Like, this is the best version of it I've ever heard. She was just an angel, just so kind. And then the whole process was so much fun and effortless. And then when we ended up winning a Grammy with her, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. Is there anybody else that you would love to collaborate with, or that you have on the docket?
So many people.
Yeah.
So many people.
So many people.
I feel like Superfruit could do something really fun with Imogen Heap. We always say that for
Yeah.
Pentatonics too, because she's so vocal based, but she's so adventurous in her sounds. That could be cool.
Who are your role models that you look up to, and why?
Oh, that's tough. I feel like I subconsciously look to people, like a bunch of different people, for a bunch of different things. If they're like a strong individual, I'm like, oh, I like that aspect about them, or the way they dress, or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, growing up, it was Lady Gaga, just because she was so open and
So great.
Yeah, and I love her, and so committed to her art and her performance and everything she stood for. I just thought that was so amazing, and what a role model for LGBT kids as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always say Beyonce, and I know that it's like redundant at this point. I know you all know, as she has like a Beyonce themed Superfruit shirt. But just the work ethic and the talent and the skill and the performance ability, and just like she demands the stage, and I feel like there's no one else really doing what she does, and it just blows me away.
Yeah, they're both super talented superstars. But Pentatonics is a super group at this, and so is Superfruit. It's like a little super group out of Pentatonics. But how does it feel to kind of deal with this fame and kind of you were plucked kind of from obscurity on some level. You were younger, like a few years back. I mean, how do you handle that? And you seem well adjusted and comfortable with it, and you're having fun. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like we've just enjoyed it. It's been amazing. I mean, our dream was to perform for a living, and now we get to do it every day. And I feel like a difference in this world, which is really cool. And I haven't felt like there's been any crazy struggles with fame.
I haven't either. I haven't either, but I feel like it sort of makes us work harder, because we're like, this is so amazing, and inspiring people is so amazing. Making art in this way is amazing, and if it ever goes away, I feel like we would be...
Yeah, and we have momentum now, and,
Yeah.
and we have to be so grateful for this, so keep working at it. Yeah.
I like that you're going a different direction with Superfruit, and Pentatonics has really brought a cappella into the forefront. Where do you see a cappella going down the line? We're seeing a Pitch Perfect 3 coming out later this year. I don't think you guys are in it, or it's not. You're not in it, but sad.
Sorry.
But
Just watch the second one again.
Yeah. Just the end.
But do we see that this is we're going to see more popularity in this genre of music?
An acapella? Yeah. I mean,
It seems that way.
Yeah.
in the past 5 years, it's bigger than it's ever been, I feel. So I'm sure it'll keep moving that way.
Do you feel like after you're done, you're promoting Superfruit, you may be going on tour, when will you link up with Pentatonics again?
Well, we're touring in August, September, Pentatonics.
Great.
And then we'll probably do a bunch of Christmas stuff, like every year. And then whenever we have a little free time, we'll do Superfruit stuff. Yeah. We're working 2 jobs at this point.
Okay, so when you're not working, what are you doing?
When are we not working? 1.
True.
And 2.
We prefer to work.
Yeah, true. We'll just hang. Yeah. So we'll go on a vacation.
Yeah. We do go on vacations a lot.
We do.
Oh, really?
We'll do like destination.
What's some of your favorite places that you visited?
We just went to Hawaii and had the best
Hawaii.
time ever.
That's
Where else have we been?
I love Paris too.
Paris?
Paris. I don't know. Where else?
Yeah.
You went to Iceland.
Iceland? Over near. Thank
They
you
know
guys
better
for
than
that.
you. They know better.
They
than
do
you.
know better than us.
They know better than we do.
Does that ever weird you out? Or do you just enjoy all of that?
Oh, no,
What
I
just
love
happened?
it.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no.
I like it.
I love it.
No, I like it.
You're like, I just need, but that must be such a good feeling to have all these fans. And what have been some of the, you talked a little bit about it earlier, but what have been some of the most memorable times that you've shared with fans or something, a story that you heard that, someone came up to you and was like, this really, you saved my life or changed my life?
Yeah, it's either the meet and greets where that happens
Yeah.
or just like a show that has such an energy to it where the fans are having the best time and we're having the best time and it feels like everyone is just like on this euphoric high. And there's nothing like that. It really feels amazing and you feel so connected to everyone. And then like we'll go like talk to people after by the bus and then we'll like get on Twitter in our bunks and talk to everyone. It's just like a really, really amazing thing.
Well, it's crazy because nowadays, you could really, and we grew up in the social media world, like you really just in that zone communicating with your fans. You're both pretty active on Twitter and Instagram. How do you enjoy that? And have you ever had something like, oh, I wish I didn't tweet that or do that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are the first ones to point out typos. So I always am very careful on what I tweet.
I think a good rule of thumb on Twitter is if you're hesitant about tweeting it, then probably don't.
Save to draft.
Yes.
Save as draft by Katy Perry.
Save to draft. Look at it a little later. You mentioned Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Have you had the opportunity to meet either of them?
We met Lady
We met Lady Gaga.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that
We've not
experience like?
She was lovely.
It was amazing. She looked beautiful and stunning. We were so nervous. We were like, thank you for everything you do. But we haven't met Beyonce. I've had a chance like 4 times. I've been this close to her.
And what happened?
I bailed.
How
I
do you-
panicked.
How do you get in there, though? There's no way. I feel like somebody would be like,
No,
what I mean?
when she was really pregnant in the gold Grammys moment, she was backstage. We were this close.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, oh, do I say it? Do I do it? But she just looked like a goddess, and I felt not worthy to say hi.
Yeah.
So I did it. I was like, I just walked away. One day.
One of these days. You're in the zone. You're hanging out in places that she will be. So I have faith that you will.
I'm sure it'll happen one day. The thing is, I have no fear in going up to anyone else.
I do.
Like, we were next to Rihanna, and I knew that he is obsessed. I'm obsessed too, but I was like, I could go up to her, and I was like, hey, my friend wants to meet you. Can we take a selfie? And it went great. She was so nice. And I know Beyonce would be nice too, but I just can't do it.
So next time, Mitch, you got to go up and do it on his behalf.
Are you kidding? I can't even go up to boys.
That's funny.
Oh man!
But it's kind of endearing to hear that here you are on stage talking to me and with all these fans, and yet you still get nervous about that.
Oh,
it's really endearing.
Well, thank you.
It still makes you like still regular people, and I think that's really touching.
Thank you.
So we have Superfruit. What other aspirations do you have? Like
What other? Past Superfruit.
Yeah, past beyond, like dreams.
I don't know. It stresses me out.
I know,
Taking
me
it day by
too.
day here.
I can speak for myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think getting more into the fashion world would be amazing because I love it. And maybe some solo music would be cool down the line.
Ooh, I like it. And nothing on the horizon?
Probably. There's
Yeah.
always been moments where I've been really inspired in the car and been like, oh, if I ever did a solo record, it would sound like this or it would be this. But I'm just like so enjoying what Pentatonics and Superfruit is, and I have literally not a free day in my life. So, so maybe in the future, yeah, of course.
Maybe in the future. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to get some questions from the fans out here.
Oh, yes.
They've been eager and anxious. So I don't know who's first. You're right here. Great.
There you
Perfect.
are.
Hi.
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 What is your favorite song lyric that you've ever written? It could be like unreleased or on Future Friends or Pentatonics, anything like that.
Favorite song lyric I've ever written? Oh my gosh, that's hard.
Oh, for We All Have Our Nightmares, even me, my dear.
Oh,
From Light in the
honestly,
Hallway.
same. Yeah, from Light in the Hallway. That was a very intense session for us, and we both like bawled our
Yeah,
eyes
we both
out.
cried.
That's nice. Okay, who's next?
Hi.
Hi.
I love your jacket, Mitch.
Thank you.
What was your biggest inspiration for the feel on the album?
For the feel.
You
Just
know,
the 80s in
the
general.
80s, yeah, the 80s as a decade, but also just like sort of the way R&B is going now too. I feel like we have a little bit of R&B influence in our music, and it's falling back into that 80s sort of vibe, like tropical, poppy, and yeah.
And we had discussed wanting to do that, and then my friend from college who produced for us, he produced Bad for Us in Vacation. He just like actually used synths,
An old
like old
synthesizer,
synthesizers from the 80s, and we were like, great, that's the sound we want.
yeah.
So.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Was there any disagreements that you guys had on the album, like when you were writing it, or if like you wanted something to sound a specific way or anything?
Yeah, there was little mini battles throughout. I felt like there would be times where like lyrically one of us would be uncomfortable with something, or even sound wise and idea wise. But that's what's so nice about the two of us writing, is because we can disagree a little bit easier than having to like write with more people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and we know each other too, so we know what we're thinking.
I mean, that is what art is.
Yeah.
Creating and disagreeing in battles. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Hello. Even though I don't feel worthy, I'm going to ask my question.
Oh my gosh, queen of everything.
Please.
My question is, you touched upon this earlier, but going from like the studio, in the studio and writing, how does it go from like having a cappella to now having like all the music behind and the instruments? How does it like differ in the whole process?
There was a learning curve for sure.
It's nice. I mean, there are more options sound-wise, and you can layer as much as you want. It's less of a puzzle to put together, I would say.
Yeah, but it can also be daunting because you can go so many directions. Like at least Pentatonics, we knew our lane. We like know what we do. But this was like, wow, you could literally go a million different things.
Creative ways to do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks. We have one last question.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jenna. I'm nervous. Okay.
Hi, Jenna.
So, I was wondering, because there's two EPs, part 1 and part 2, if there's any specific reason besides like the sound that you decided to split them into 2 instead of making one like debut album.
I think mainly we just wanted to get something out.
Yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot of time because we're in this like transitional phase with Pentatonics, so we wanted to get something out, and so it was easier to split it into 2.
And I think it's easier nowadays for people to kind of take that, like 7 songs versus 14 songs all at once. I think it's easier, and that's what we did with Pentatonics too. We split it up into EPs because it's easier. You know, it's not so much of a task, I guess.
And we wanted to see how receptive people would be to Superfruit music too.
Ease us into it. Well, we're not disappointed. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so much for your questions. Mitch and Scott, thanks for coming by today.
Thank you. Thank you
Album
guys
is
for
out
coming.
now. Superfruit's album.